Hi, my name is Jerry Han, and today we're going to talk about how Gary Vee motivated me to start this YouTube channel. If you've never heard of him before, he's a big proponent of the internet and social media and how powerful it has become to be in our society. And his goal is to essentially spread awareness of this tool and encourage anyone who's trying to start a small business to utilize social media to expand their reach. I personally think that his message stuck so well with me is because he's very practical and blunt. So one of the things he talks a lot about is the free section on Craigslist and how essentially anyone can look up the items that are free on Craigslist, drive their car, go pick it up, bring the item back, clean it up, make it look like new, and flip it on Facebook Marketplace, Letgo, or any other secondhand selling platform. And it might also be because I've never heard a lot of motivational speakers speak before, but he was the first one that seemed to be very practical and genuine. And another reason I like him is that he's very blunt. And this might be because of where he's from or how he was raised, but he gives you the cold hard truth, but then he also gives you practical steps that you can implement in order to improve your life. And from the few videos I watched of him in the past few weeks and months, I realized that his message is pretty simple, and in every one of his talks, he repeats his core beliefs and talks about them repeatedly throughout many different conferences. So I also like that his message is very simple. So in this video, we're going to go through some of the sayings or messages that I've heard from Gary Vee that motivate me to continue to do what I'm doing. And the first message that I heard from him was to start because you have time. And I got this message from the first video I watched of him when looking him up on YouTube, and it was titled What to Do After College. And it was pretty short, around 3 minutes, but in it he talked about how if you're a recently college graduate student, which I happen to be, he says that since you're in your 20s, you still have time to go and pursue your dreams, fail, grind, because you don't have the burden of getting married or starting a family. So you should use your 20s to try out different things so that you can find out what you like or don't like. And this one spoke to me because at that time when I was just graduating out of college, I was comparing myself to my peers around me who had a stable job, were starting families, or they just seemed like they had their lives all figured out. And I was here still trying to figure out what I wanted to do, still trying to find a job. So after watching this video, it really helped me put things into perspective, and it made me realize that I still have time to try things out and pursue my passions. And I thought this was different from motivational speakers that I've heard in the past, because at least from the few that I've heard, they always say that you don't have time. So you should put as much work in day to day, which is also true. But I feel like when you word it in a way to where it's okay to try and fail, to me it seems more encouraging. And after watching this video, this was essentially the start of me seriously considering to start this YouTube channel. Now the second thing that Gary Vee taught me was the power of social media. And in his conferences, a lot of the times he would hold up this phone, and I remember he mentioned that social media has now given every single one of us the opportunity to advertise online for free. Whereas this was something that was not possible just a couple of decades ago. If you wanted to put yourself out there, you would have to pay other companies to advertise for your business or your product. So as of right now, it's extremely easy for every single one of us to pick up our phones and start posting content online. And now is the prime time to do so because the other industries are still catching on. But other industries such as retail, cable TV, or magazines, the traditional way of consuming them is slowly dying off, and every single one of those businesses is slowly transferring online. So if you want to be early to the party, you want to start as soon as you can. And one of the examples that he talked about that really made me think about how the future of retail is going to be, and he gives this example which I think could be very possible in the future. So he would say that we would use our smart home assistants like Siri, Alexa, or Google, and we would talk to our Google speaker and we would ask them to, for example, order toilet paper. And that assistant would go through their database of the most popular retail businesses online. And if you weren't that business that the assistant chose to order toilet paper from, then you would essentially lose out on that customer. So he's saying that consumers in the future are not going to scroll through websites to find the best deal. They're going to ask the assistant, and it's going to be the assistant's job to scroll through their database and find out that business that sticks out. But he also recognizes that not everyone might be comfortable in front of a camera, or let's say talking might not be their strong suit. So he gives multiple alternatives to social media, such as starting a podcast where you can talk to your audience through audio. You can start a blog where you can essentially use your writing skills to reach other people online. Or if you're comfortable with doing video in front of a camera, you can start a YouTube channel too. So there's a lot of different ways that businesses can get started on different types of social media. And the third thing I learned from Gary Vee is that the reason most people don't start is because they're insecure about themselves, or they care too much about what other people think. Now I think that most people who don't start a YouTube channel is because they think that they're not interesting enough, they aren't handsome or pretty enough, or they just think that there's too much competition and they won't be able to stand out. And all three of these things were things that I told myself that prevented me from starting this YouTube channel. And that's not to say that I don't struggle with these things anymore. I'm still very much trying to get used to being on camera and acting natural as if I was talking to this other person across from the screen. But he continually emphasizes that if you just get over this fear of caring about what strangers might think about you, or of what your friends might think about you, there would be truly nothing holding you back. And that's not to say that it's easy, but it's a motivator for you to try this out yourself. The fourth thing I learned is to put yourself out there. Now Gary Vee says that if you want to succeed on social media with all the competition, you should aim to put out multiple pieces of content across multiple platforms of social media if you truly want to succeed. He does that himself. He posts across YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and probably a lot of other social media platforms that I don't know of. And I remember I was watching another consulting call of his where he was talking to this other individual who was trying to grow on Instagram. And I remember he was helping this other fitness trainer. And he checked out his page on his phone and he clicked the Explore tab. He scrolled through it and found someone doing pull-ups. So he clicked into the video, scrolled down into the comment section, and commented, "swole." And he told this individual that when he first started, he would spend hours a day scrolling through the Explore page, finding relevant topics that he was posting on his page too, and he would just comment on other people's pictures in order to get exposure. And when I thought about it, I could see how this would work. Because when you go on Instagram and you post a picture, you don't really go through all the likes on your pictures and click through the profiles to see who liked your picture. but if someone commented on it, you would want to know who this other person was and click into their profile. So I thought this would be a great method to utilize across all the social medias if you want to get exposure. But his main point was to say that if you really want to get your business out there, you'll work as hard as you have to, or you'll do anything you have to do if you really want to succeed. And the fifth thing I learned from Gary Vee, which is also the thing that stuck with me the most strongly, is to give value first, and the rest will eventually come. And when I heard him say this point in a talk, it kind of blew my mind, because I realized that he was essentially talking about human nature. But he was talking about how we as humans usually give other people something because we expect them to give us something in return. And when you really think about it, it's really why we do so many things in life. We want to start a business because we expect to be successful. We go to school because we expect to get a job afterwards. A little kid might do their homework because they'll expect that they can go outside to play afterwards. But this isn't the aspect of human nature that he's talking about. He's talking about how if you provide enough value for someone and they really benefit from what you did, their natural inclination is to want to help you out. So his method isn't to give, and then ask for help. His method is to give enough to the point to where others will want to give back to you. And this is something that I've constantly had to remind myself when starting this channel, because I've slowly come to realize that starting a YouTube channel takes a lot of work. And in the beginning, when you don't see results, your natural inclination is to lose motivation and want to give up. And when you don't see results from all the hard work you put in, whether it be going to school and getting a good grade from studying really hard, or doing really well in a group project and getting praise from your group members, in all of these aspects of life, we expect to see some sign of progress, whether it be in school, to exercising, or maybe your regular 9-to-5 job. When you're working on something, you expect to see some kind of effect to keep you motivated. But I have to constantly remind myself that if you really want to build something big, it's going to take a long time of hard work and persistence from not seeing results in order to get to that turning point. And I need to remember that real change is going to take time, and hustling is just part of the process. This video, in a way, was used as a motivational tool for me to keep posting on YouTube and working hard to achieve my dreams. But if you like any of this information that I said in this video, please give it a like. Feel free to check out my other videos, or share this video with your family and friends if you think that they need the same motivation as I do. Subscribe if you want to see more videos, as I'm currently posting as much as I can. And I'll see you all very soon.